Welcome back to another Marketing Monday episode. My name is Eric Brown. I'm president at Vi Media, where we specialize in growing home service companies, primarily, among other businesses. And this episode is coming out on the 30th of December. So hopefully, if you're listening to this, you're a business owner, a marketing executive, or just listening in. You want to make sure that you already have a marketing plan in place for next year. If not, I'm not going to say it's too late, but you are waiting entirely too long. And we've talked about this over the past couple of weeks about what should you have learned from over the last year? What should you have been looking at, right? And how do you know what you should be doing next year? And we have a ton of content on that over the past few weeks. Really what I want to talk about moving into, 2025 is, kind of what to expect, right? What to expect from consumer behavior, which of course none of us really know yet. Right now, we know that a ton of people are worried about tariffs, so they're buying products right now, which means potentially that there's going to be less sales moving forward when those tariffs come into place. Will that affect your business or not? I don't know. It depends on your industry and what you do. Um, if that squeezes people wallets, maybe it affects all the businesses. Um, but we do know as well that, of course, depending on the industry that you're in, that this could be a slow time of the year, right? If you primarily work outside, doing roofing or siding or landscaping or things like that, or deck, you build decks, etc. Right? It's tough for you to get jobs because the demand's super low. So you need to know this stuff going into the year, right? You can't act on it in the month of December and be like, oh, I'm slow now. I didn't expect this. Well, you should have expected it, especially knowing what type of business you're in and what type of industry you're in. So you need to be learning this stuff and paying attention. Your marketing company should be aware of this stuff. If you're working with someone new, right, make sure that they're aware of these trends in your business. That way they can plan for it. But with 2025, I think really a big thing that you need to be doing in your business, and we might have talked about this actually last month, is your story, right? And utilizing your story, if you're the business owner, of really why you built that business. What's your reasoning behind it? And we just had an interesting podcast that I just hosted. You can go back and actually listen to that, the Dan Gretsch episode on the St. Louis podcast that I host. And we talked about when it comes to franchises, right? And really the home service industry, how do you differentiate yourself? Right, because at the end of the day, you have price. Sure, you can say you have the best service and things like that, but everyone says that. So what's the differentiating factor? What is your story? Why should people use you? And what I was explaining is, you know, there's two different types of stories as Dan was explaining it. First type of story is your origin story. So mine goes back to my father, having a super successful wine and spirits and deli for essentially my entire life and well before I was born as well. And then, of course, on my mom's side, I had, she worked a 9 to 5 as a speech therapist. So being able to be ingrained in that culture, knowing work, right? And knowing what went into, and not knowing everything by any means, but having an idea and really being around that stuff kind of instilled in me eventually wanting to start a business. And we did try and start a business. And the first business we tried to start, we got screwed over by a marketing agency. And so slowly, this was when I was brand new into business right out of college, and slowly started to talk to more and more owners about really digital marketing companies, especially when it comes to small businesses, are effectively stealing money from those small businesses and putting it in their own pocket because they are not doing a good job. They're actively doing everything they can to hide the fact that they're doing a bad job. And no, looking back, and if someone was actively doing that to my dad in the past or anybody else that I own that's, knew that owned a small business, not only would I be mad, you know, in the back of my mind, I'd be, let's mask up and figure this out, right? But of course, that's not what you can do. Too many cameras. So instead, we decided to, number one, start a marketing agency based on the fact that we were tired of hearing other businesses getting screwed over. Number two, we wanted to start Vi. in order to hopefully start other businesses off the backbone of Vi, which of course we eventually did by starting our holding company, West County Insulation, and a couple of the other businesses that we actively own and manage as well. And so we got to that point, right? But knowing your story and telling people this, because it with a lot of the companies I talk to, the business owners, they've already been screwed over in the past, more likely than not, by a marketing agency and probably by more than one. So by me already having that understanding of literally this is why I did it for the exact reason you're telling me right now, this is why we started the agency. And being able to tell that story to your employees, to all of your customers, to referrals, to your friends and family, that way they can share that story. That is important, and that is going to differentiate you from the other types of businesses. If you're a home service company, why did you start it? I would just say go listen to the episode that I recorded with on the St. Louis podcast with Dan. Uh, it would be the episode that it comes out on December 20th, so 10 days prior to this episode. Go and listen to that because I think it's going to help a lot of business owners really figure out their story, figure out their strategy when it comes to marketing. Because the bottom line is a lot of business owners usually, if they're home service, they have a good understanding of the tech side, they have a good understanding of the sales side, but they lack the basic fundamentals when it comes to understanding marketing. And that is one thing. That's the reason why I do this every single week, right? That's the reason why we record these episodes. That way, there's free content for all these business owners. A lot of business owners, when they're starting off, don't have money for marketing. They don't have money for a marketing company. They don't have money for a part time employee. They have to do this stuff themselves. And most marketing agencies don't want to spend the time or effort to go ahead and put this type of content out for those people to listen to. Because again, like I just said, most marketing companies are not doing it in the favor of their clients and the small businesses that they serve. They're doing it in the service of themselves. So, we also have a good episode that I talk about how to find a good marketing agency. I think that is, invaluable information on that episode of the Marketing Monday, where I go deep into what makes a good marketing agency, what should you be on the lookout for, what are red flags and things like that, because the problem is if you're a business owner and you don't have a good understanding of marketing or even just a basic understanding of strategy and fundamentals in your industry and what you need to be doing and what metrics you should be paying attention to, that leaves you open to being prey for these shitty marketing agencies because you're not going to be able to tell the red flags because you don't know, right? You don't know, right? They're telling you things and you don't know if it's right or not. Could be lying through their teeth and you wouldn't have any idea because you lack that understanding. And that's the main reason why we started this as well, right? We started Marketing Monday. I think it was at the very beginning of this year. So for an entire year now, which, hey, we were late to the game. We should have been doing this a lot sooner, but we're doing it now. And it's sure. Do we want more people to know about Vi Media? Would we like to get clients off this content? Potentially, if it makes sense, right? I'm not going to sit here and lie. But the main reason we do this is to get this information out to the people that are listening, that are interested in learning more about marketing, even if they're not a business owner, they want to get into the marketing field. There's a lot of good stuff on this channel that we've talked about. So I would just say, if you don't have a plan in place for 2025, do it now. If you have a place if you have a plan in place for 2025 for marketing, check it over. Look back on some of these past episodes we've released over the past couple of weeks before this one, and listen to what we talk about. Listen to the metrics and what we're saying needs to be looked at, and make sure that your marketing plan aligns with what's going to be best for your business. And if you don't know what's best for your business based on the metrics of your marketing, then then you're just throwing money into the wind and hoping that it works, hoping that it goes the right direction to wherever you want it to go. So, in other news, it's been an amazing year at Vi Media. We continue to have a bunch of successful clients that continue to grow. Our best referral partners are our clients, so that means we're doing something right. So all I'll say is if you're looking for an honest marketing agency to talk to, you'll probably be talking to me if you reach out to Vi Media. I will give you an honest opinion on is this, what do you need to do? I'll give you advice. I don't care. If you're a new owner, I like talking to new business owners and giving advice, regardless if you become my client, regardless if you pay me any money, right? This is what I talk about day in and day out. And I mean, we're under attack as small businesses. We need to be successful and we need to help each other out. This is one way that I'm able to do so. So we appreciate everyone's support this year at Vi Media. Thank you for listening. Please like, review, subscribe. Go back and listen to other episodes. They're all on here. Like I said, there's a ton of good content. We have episodes going in depth on Google Ads, on building a website, on SEO, on setting up your Google business profile, on social media, on talking about a strategy and building a story, right? Getting reviews. It goes on and on and on. KPIs and metrics, analytical tools. So go back if you haven't listened to that stuff. Show us some love as we're showing you guys, and we appreciate everyone's support. I hope you guys all had a good year, and let's kick 2025's ass. Thank you.